Alrighty, so we're back with another 10-year rebuild. Today, we're doing the Angels. That was the most liked comment on the last video. So, of course, if you guys know which team you want next, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you see the team that you want, go ahead and like that comment. Whichever comment has the most likes, that's the team I'll do next. And that's what we're doing today. We're doing the Angels. The Angels. We're going to get Mike Trout that ring. It's been too long. The fact that he doesn't even really have like any playoff time. What are we doing here, Angels? We got to do something with this. We're going to get Mike Trout the ring. We're going to get him into the playoffs almost every single year. I have faith with this squad. We're going to change up some things as well, and I hope you do enjoy it. So if you do, hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the Let's backtrack a little bit. If you're new and enjoyed the content, and of course, follow my Twitter. What are you guys doing? I know a lot of you guys haven't followed my Twitter yet. It's in the description. I tell you when my video is about to go live. I tell you if I'm uploading for the day. Whenever I stream, I tweet out when I'm streaming, and just kind of like anything else that's going on with my life, like what I think about the playoffs, what I think about this, what I think about that. Basically, just go follow the Twitter. It's in the description down below. So with that being said, we're doing the Angels, and we're going to hop into it. A lot of you guys have been asking about my roster. It's been the same roster for like months now. Like I've been using the same one that I've just been kind of tweaking along the way. So it's really just my roster. I think it's Riding Roster's most recent roster that I've just been tweaking since that came out. So yeah, if you guys make a roster that's up to date, let me know and I'll test it out and see if I like it. And if I do, I'll use it for a video. But yeah, let's get into it. What I did with this team, I did make a couple changes. I'm letting you know that now. I did make a couple changes. I did. So I changed up a few things here. When you take a look at the starting pitching, you guys can see not much has changed here. This is the pitching for the Angels. It's okay. It's not great. You got Bundy. That was really about it. Bullpen arms. I know Mike Myers finished off the season really, really well. So I decided to just bump him up a little bit. I think originally he was like a 53. I made him a 65. That's the best I can do for just kind of like a little spurt of, you know, good performances. So there's that. Max Stassi, I'll bump up his potential a little bit. I know he had a little bit better of a season. I don't want to make him an overpowered catcher or anything, but I'll bump it up a little bit. So we got Max Stassi there, and there you go. First base, I decided to bump up Jared Walsh a little bit, not too much. I think he's like a 71. He's just angry because he's not getting any play time. But I did bump him up a little bit. His potential is like 78. Nothing too crazy. And then the big thing here, and the big thing that's probably going to annoy a lot of people with this move, and it's not that this is what's going to happen, and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. Shohei Ohtani, in my eyes, I just think the time for him to be a pitcher has kind of run out. You're looking at multiple Tommy John surgeries. You're looking at just wearing down his arm until the point where he's really just going to end up being a DH hitter if you just keep tearing apart his arm. Or you're going to have to like move him to first base. Like, I think you just got to give up on the experiment of him being a two-way player and either let him be an outfielder, let him be a first baseman, let him be a DH, whatever it is. You got to figure something out. And for this rebuild, if I'm running the team, I'm saying, Shohei, you can't pitch anymore. You are my everyday outfielder. That is what I want you to be. I'm going to stick you in left. Justin Upton, you know, like I just want your contract up so you can leave the team. Shohei, you are my left fielder. So there's that big move that I would do if I was running the Angels. Like that's just really what it would come down to. We've got David Fletcher, Luis Renifo, and Franklin Barreto all playing the infield. You've got Rendon as well, Andrelton Simmons. Shohei now in left with Upton. And then when you look at center field, you've got Mike Trout, the main man. We're going to get you a World Series. I promise you that. And then, of course, we've got Joe Adell and then, you know, Brandon Marsh, Michael Hermosillo all out there in the outfield. I feel like it's a little too early for Joe Adell to be starting right now, but we're gonna toy with it. We're going to see how it goes. The big issue with this team is the budget. You look at Trout, Rendon, Pujols, Upton, gross contracts. We got to figure something out, and we got to figure it out right away. So I'm going to handle the draft like I normally do for season, you know, kind of like the prelude to the actual rebuild. So let me get to the draft. Let me show you how it's going to be, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, this guy right here, Greg Corona, insane pitcher. I'm calling it now. He's on my list of I must have prospects. That guy's going to be really good. I don't think anybody else was crazy good just yet. So that means there's a couple prospects that I know are going to be pretty nice. So I'll show you guys at the end of the draft. All right, so that Corona guy, 73 overall. Wow, he looks really good. There was also one other player. It was a catcher. I just don't remember what team he went to. So let me go find him before I show you our results. So he went to the Diamondbacks. He's a 65 overall, had really good hitting stats, and that's kind of what drew me to him. But now, look at that name, Guadalupe Coronado. It doesn't look good, but ooh, I almost drafted this guy and I didn't. I'm a little upset about that. But let me show you what we're looking like now. So this is our draft. I'm actually pretty happy with it considering we didn't get a second round pick, but we have a 69 overall. Nice. With actually some pretty solid hitting stats, good fielding, and good speed. Like pretty well rounded. He is 22 though, so I'm really going to be focusing on those hitting stats and training, making sure those are the things that I try to get better. Russell Blocker, 76 potential, could be just a little bullpen arm that develops past that 76 mark and turns out pretty good. Dwayne Morales, got him because of the beard. I'm actually really happy that we got him. 89 potential. Mateo, and then Lee Lopez. Pretty solid draft. All right, so the Astros defeated the Dodgers in the 2020 World Series, but again, not really worried about the 2020 season. We're trying to worry about the future going forward. So, Joe Random was the way. So I had to import Joe Random to get rid of the Shohei Ohtani pitcher version, and then obviously I had to import a left field version of Ohtani to like have an Ohtani on the team. So that's why Joe Random is there, and then Hobby Milner retired on our squad. So with that being said, I don't know what the Angels are going to do with Andrelton Simmons. I really don't. I don't know if they're going to try to put David Fletcher at short. I don't know if they're going to look to spend money somewhere else. I really don't. He had a pretty subpar season right now, like just basing it off of this. I think in real life he battled injuries. I can't really remember what Simmons did this season. I'm pretty sure he had some injuries. I don't know how much he wants. 10 mil a year. I'd be down one more year. Just test the waters, see how it goes. Julio Teheran, no thank you. You can go somewhere else. We're going to keep moving forward and see what we can do with this squad. On the 40-man, I'm going to add Justin Anderson, and I think that might be it. Maybe Almeida as well, just so we don't lose him. Looking at arbitration, I guess it kind of depends on how everybody did. Fletcher was good. Bundy was good. Heaney, pretty bad, but I'm gonna offer it to him. Maybe trade him somewhere else. Jacob Barnes was very good. Okay. Hansel Robles was good. Cam Bedrosian, yikes, might be a trade piece. And then the other guys down here, we'll just keep them. And then looking at the contracts, I definitely want to keep everybody here. Franklin Barreto, I think, is more of a trade piece going forward because Luis Renifo is a very suitable backup, and I feel like he should be one that we keep. Shohei Ohtani had a pretty good season. And then Joe Adele, not a bad year either. So yeah, I'm probably going to offer everybody a contract there. And looking at the team, we don't have that much money to work with until like Pujols and Upton are gone. And even Justin Upton, I'd be okay letting him walk. That's a lot of money to keep around for like a player that we're probably just going to use as a DH. But we have Pujols. We've got Matt Thaiss. We've got Jared Walsh. I feel like Justin Upton could be traded for like a pitcher or something because we kind of need a pitcher. Like, I mean, even though like most of the pitchers did fairly decent, we could use a pitcher. We really could. All right. I've been looking for a trade for Justin Upton for quite some time, and we're here. We got this one. Justin Upton, Franklin Barreto, and Aurel Vera. Every time I see that name, I want to say aloe vera, which I know is not correct. We're going to go to the Cardinals. I've been looking for some really good bullpen help. And we're going to get Giovanni Gallegos. And then I'm going to get Joe Madden, his new Ben Zobrist. He's always looking for that type of player. We're going to get Tommy Edman. So those are the two new players for us. Next trade I'm going to do is for some bullpen help. Josh Taylor of the Red Sox for Matt Andriese, Justin Anderson, and Parker Markle. I think that might be it for now. I want to double check the team before I figure out what I want to do with it, because there are a couple areas I'm unsure about. All right, so let's go take a look at this team. Yeah, let's just take a look at it. So you guys can see the starting five. Patrick Sandoval was a phenomenal bullpen arm last year. So I'm going to rock with that. You guys can see some of the other players that we have in our farm system. Not too much to get excited about in AAA. A player I'm like just not sure what to do with, Keenan Middleton. I know he had somewhat of like a, I don't want to say it was like a meltdown, but I know he kind of had somewhat of a falling out with some of the fans last year. Something on Twitter, or he was calling out fans or something like that. So I know there's, I don't want to say there's bad blood, but I know there's just been some uncertainties surrounding him. And then you guys can kind of see the rest of the team. CPU put Pujols on waivers. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I feel like he's just not really that great anymore. I mean, look at those hitting stats. That's not good. So he might just be a player that sadly his time has come. It's unfortunate. This is how we're going to look for the year. Tommy Edman being that like platoon guy that can play basically any position for us. And again, it's an okay team. I definitely want to upgrade the catcher spot, just not right now. And then the pitching staff. This is kind of the year where I really figure out if I want to keep players like Andrew Heaney, who are running low on their contract. Dylan Bundy, do I want to try to bring that in? Alex Wood has been brought in to a 2-year deal. And then you guys can kind of see the rest of the bullpen. The players I'm unsure about in the bullpen, Bedrosian and Ty Buttrey. They're like the two that I just, for some reason, they always do poorly for me. I don't know why, but they do really well for everybody else. So this is what we got. Simmons, last year of his deal, we'll see how he does. But then basically after this year, we're going to have a lot of money to play with and really be able to build this team. And that's when we're really going to be able to turn Mike Trout into a possible World Series winner. So here we go. We'll see how it goes. And I'll see you guys at draft day. All right, let's take a look at this team. What do we got here? 83 potential for Alexis Ojeda. That actually, I'm happy with that. That is a good looking prospect right there. Ooh, okay. 6'5", he's huge. Okay, Gary Perez, 83 potential for a 71 overall closer. That's solid. 75 potential for Gabriel Gonzalez. John Waterman, 73 potential. Woody McGee, 77 potential. And Howard McCann, 66 overall, but 88 potential. As you can see, I went pretty hefty on the pitching since the Angels have been really struggling with pitching. And I think for the long term, we got some pretty good prospects here. All right, so we won the division. I'm going to take it. 104 and 58. You look at our team, we're not a 104 win team. We are not. It's just not the case. But I'm going to take it, though. The Astros, 100 win team as well. We're actually ranked 7th, which I'm really surprised with because I don't think we're that good, but okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I mean, who would it be? 114 wins for the Dodgers. Jeez. A lot of 100-win teams so far this year. And let's go take a look at league leaders. Tommy Edman and Mike Trout. Okay. And then Gallegos with saves. So it's looking like that trade is already paying off for us, which is what you want. Normally, my trades kind of backfire on me. So to get that, ooh, okay. I'm liking that. So Edman with the most doubles. He hit 278 this year. Okay. So not a bad year. And a couple players with triples, Fletcher, Trout, Adele, Edman. Wow, I think that's like the most I've ever seen for a team on the triples list. And for once, it's us. So pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that. I'm assuming Franmil won MVP. We have a Hank Aaron Award, a Gold Glove, and then a Delivery Man of the Year. So yeah, Franmil won MVP with Jordan and Trout right behind them. Jesse Winker with Goldschmidt and Acuna. Cy Young went to Strasburg, and then Chris Sale. Batting title there. Reliever of the year went to Dylan Floro and Giovanni Gallegos. Okay. Rookie of the year. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at our pitching staff because this is what I'm interested in the most. Patrick Sandoval had such a good year last year. Just didn't really. Okay, so he pitched 50 less innings and had a pretty similar stat line. So, okay. So I can't get too upset because like he did pitch 50 less innings and had a really similar stat line. So he probably still would be around the same ERA wise as he was last year. Hansel Robles was outstanding. Cam Bedrosian really struggled, so that's disappointing. Josh Taylor was very good. We've got Ty Buttrey, who was okay. I like to see that. Jacob Barnes. Ooh, maybe Ty Buttrey's the setup guy now. And then who do we got here? Giovanni Gallegos. He was reliever of the year for a reason. Love to see it. Dylan Bundy, not as good as he was last year. But if we can keep him for a similar contract and kind of hold him on to that like 3-4 spot in the rotation, I'm really happy with that. Andrew Heaney, it really just depends on how much he wants. If he wants like 12, 15 million, I'll be a little hesitant, but we'll have to wait and see. Alex Wood was good. Griffin Canning was solid. And then Jaime Barria as like a 5. I'm okay with that. You know, we've got Reed Detmers, who's probably got another, what is he, 22? So probably like 2 more years. Unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. Bullpen, I think we can get some trade pieces pretty easily, so I'm not worried about that either. Max Stassi hit 265. We've got Renifo, who hit 277 in 184 at bats, which is not bad at all. Like 828 OPS. You got Jahmai Jones, who struggled a little bit, and then Jared Walsh, nothing crazy, and then Taylor Ward. Not bad. I mean, minimal appearances, but not bad. David Fletcher had a pretty solid season. Yeah, I mean, David Fletcher type numbers. He's not gonna crank 80 home runs or anything, but Andrelton Simmons did really well. I don't necessarily want to bring him back, but if he'll continue to take like lower contracts, if we can kind of keep him, you know, at like 8-9 million, and he can hit similar to like this number right here, I'd be pretty happy with that. Mike Trout, crazy good numbers. You love to see it. Anthony Rendon, unbelievable numbers. Shohei, really solid season. Tommy Edman had a really good year as well. Matt Thaiss is definitely going to be our first baseman for the future. He's only going to get better. You've got Joe Adell, who's looking pretty solid, and then Jose Briseño. He's our catcher. I'm not really freaking out yet. We've got Michael Hermosillo, Brandon Marsh. Who else do we have down here that's got some decent potential? Rick Halsley, who his potential was starting to go down, and it was because they were training his... What were they training? I want to say they were training his fielding when his fielding was already good. So I switched it back over to hitting. And who else? We've got a couple other guys that we got to definitely keep our eye on. But I feel good with this team. So I don't want to talk about the team too much. I want to focus more on what's going on right now. Here we go. Maeda versus... Oh, wait. Maeda's on the White Sox. So we got Angels, White Sox, and we got eliminated. I'm okay with that. We're still making the postseason. It's not great that we're getting eliminated. Dodgers defeat the White Sox. And here we go. Pujols retired as expected. Sadly, I just couldn't keep him in the team. Like a 60 overall player, just you can't keep him there. Exclusive negotiations. I'm gonna pick up this option. It's $7 million, super cheap. Dylan Bundy. I want to do kind of what I did with Alex Wood, where 2-year option. If you do well, we keep you. If you don't do well, I'm gonna let you go. Ty Buttrey pitched really well. Boom, pick you up. Cam Bedrosian, you were so bad, but why do I want to keep you with the team? I don't know. Hansel Robles, I'm gonna do 1-year deal. He's gonna be a bullpen arm, so I can probably drop that to $3 million. Bedrosian, no. Simmons, what do you want? 1 year, $13 million, and we've got Tommy Edman. Is this the end for Andrelton Simmons? It might be. Like 13 million is a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offer him. I can't do it. We got to be smart with our money, and we got to make sure that we can spend money on offensive pieces, because we definitely need those. So okay, here we go. Those are our contracts offered. I'm still kind of thinking about maybe bringing back Simmons, but at the same time, we have Tommy Edman, who can slot into the shortstop position perfectly fine. And so it would probably be Fletcher, Edman, Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, which means we have a DH spot open. And then we can also possibly trade for a really good catcher. And then pitching I'm okay with for now. Definitely want to add a bullpen option. And 40-man, I'll make sure we don't lose anybody to the 40-man. Arbitration. Yeah, everybody arbitration. And then contracts, everybody with contracts. So, alrighty, here we go. We're about to start the second season. This is going to be a trade we're going to make. Taylor Ward and Luis Renifo. The reason I'm getting rid of Renifo, even though he's 25, definitely a player that like could be really good, like just a really good platoon guy for us, is we got Jahmai Jones, young and up and coming second baseman, and then Taylor Ward, kind of the same situation, could be decent, but we just have younger players who could come up and kind of do a similar job. We're gonna trade for Phil Maton of the Indians. That's the trade. Boom, easy peasy. There we go. Let's go take a look at the season. So free agency was pretty calm. Again, we're trying to keep within budget, and it's pretty tough, especially with Trout, Rendon's contract. Those are pretty hefty deals there. And we also did make a couple signings. We'll take a look at those real quick. And Phil Maton through the trade. Other trades. Other signing. Corey Dickerson almost looks fake in that photo, by the way, but had a decent year last year. He's gonna be kind of like a DH for us. I gave him a 2-year deal, so if he does well, we keep him. Solid. That's basically what it comes down to. Rafael Villanueva looks decent. Found him in free agency, decided to give him a shot. We'll throw him in AA. Austin Cox, I forgot who drafted him in real life, but he was available in free agency, decided to pick him up. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know what we're going to do with him yet, but we'll figure something out. And then Mark Canha, another like DH type player who maybe even plays first base when Matt Thaiss doesn't do well against righties, or no, versus lefties. But yeah, this is the team. Once again, it looks really solid. I'm really liking this Fletcher Edman combo. And then we got Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, Thaiss, which I'm going to swap with Dickerson, Adele, and then Briseño. I almost said Odell. That's not right. And then you guys can see our bench here. It looks really solid. I like it a lot. And then we have players like that catcher we have in AA now. We've got Rick Halsey, who I really need to develop really quickly. Like, he needs to start developing faster. Otherwise, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Alexis Ojeda's here. I think he could possibly be a DH for us once Dickerson leaves. So we've got the players. We've got the players for sure. Our pitching staff basically untouched, minus Phil Matten, who I'm actually going to make the setup guy. Yeah, that's the squad. We have a couple players that I need to sort out here for sure. I just don't know where certain players are going to go. Maybe like something like this, even though I'm pretty sure this guy's a starter. Yeah. So I'll figure it out. It's not really the important stuff. The important stuff is how the MLB squad does. And the budget's what's killing us, man. I got to figure it out, what we're going to do with this, because, oof, it's bad. So I'll see you guys at draft day. All right, here we go. Third draft, second season. Here we are. Steve Mathis, 90 potential. Ooh-wee. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We got Jeff Franklin with 88 potential. 78 potential for Alan Dobson. We got Bruce Valencia. Man, my pronunciations have been off today, more so than normal. Edward Hurd, and then Leo Guevara. I'm not really worried about those, but the top four looking nice. I don't get this team, man. I really don't. Like, this is an insane team. What is going on? 113 and 49. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This team's insane. All right, let's take a look. 113 and 49. Won the division by 16 games. Unreal. This team's insane. What is going on here? Like, that shouldn't be the case, but it is, and we're freaking killing it. So, Trout, Edman, Rendon, Edman again. We got Mike Trout up there. We got Heaney with the strikeouts and the wins. Things are insane. Things are unreal right now. So I don't really know where to go with this team. I think pitching's the area that we need to improve the most, which is obvious. That's what's been the Achilles heel for the Angels for quite some time. But even the pitchers that we have are doing really, really well. So like, how do we get even better? Our MVP, the MVP, was Andrew Heaney. Huh? Look at all these awards. Just bring them in more and more and more. Andrew Heaney, 22 and 3, MVP. Are you kidding me, man? Unbelievable. You love to see it. Once again, reliever of the year, along with some other awards sprinkled in here and there. And we'll take a look at this lovely pitching staff. So Patrick Sandoval, he is an 80 overall, and I think that he definitely would be more of a 5 or a long reliever, kind of where he's at right now. And it's looking like he's going to settle around like the 4s, mid 4s for ERA. Jacob Barnes, not as good as he was last year, was really struggling in that setup role. That's why I took him out. Ty Buttrey, really good. Love to see it. Hansel Robles, really solid. We got Josh Taylor, really good. Phil Matten, outstanding. Giovanni Gallegos. Bullpen, very happy with it. Really, the only person I'm considering letting go is Jacob Barnes, and we have, you know, like Keenan Middleton and a couple other guys who could come up, fill those spots. Andrew Heaney, outstanding. MVP, crazy good year. I'm going to bring him back next year. Then we've got Dylan Bundy, again, very solid. We got Alex Wood, again, very solid. Griffin Canning struggled a bit, and like his stats are going up though, so I only expect him to get better and better and better. So at 25 years old, I think he's a player that I'm gonna look to hold on to. And then Jaime Barria, I'm not 100% sold on him. I really don't know. And I'm kind of just waiting for like players like maybe Dylan Peters, you know, Reed Detmers to get a little bit better. Maybe even give Patrick Sandoval the shot. I don't know. Maybe that's where we look to spend the money. Just get a really solid bullpen starter. and then maybe like let Alex Wood go, let Griffin Canning be the 3, or maybe even the 2, and then try to figure out what we do with this 4 and 5. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but we'll have to wait and see. Bench, we got Stassi. Mark Canha was decent. Michael Hermosillo was pretty solid in his 215 at bats. Jahmai Jones was really good. Jared Walsh was decent. So even the bench was putting up really good numbers. You got David Fletcher putting up really solid numbers in the leadoff spot. Tommy Edman, really good. Mike Trout, really good. Rendon, really good. I mean, look at this team. Ohtani's putting up numbers. Corey Dickerson was solid. Matt Thaiss is hitting 40 home runs almost. Oof. Joe Adell cooled off a little bit, but they've been they keep changing training up on me, so like I keep having to train up or change up training on them. It's a mess. It's a pain. It's a big old pain. So let's keep moving forward. Again, we're taking on the White Sox. Hopefully we can get revenge this year. We do. And now we're taking on the Twins. Oh, okay. So Heaney, Bundy, Canning, and then Wood. Let's go. Let's see how this goes against the Twins. And we are gonna lose. Dang. 2 games away from a World Series. That's a tough way to lose it there. But the Cubs defeat the Twins. We're going to keep moving forward. We're inching our way closer and closer and closer to that World Series. So we're getting closer, but I want to get it soon. All right, Heaney, we're going to take that option around 10 mil. Bundy, take it 6.5. Corey Dickerson, wasn't too impressed with, and I feel like we've got the pieces, so I'm going to decline the option. Crazy, right? Hansel Robles was really good. I'm going to give him 1 more year in the bullpen, about $3 million. That looks decent. And I'll pick up this option because it was pretty cheap. So Wood hasn't really gone up or down in rating, and like he hasn't been bad, but I'd rather just be safe and get someone a little bit younger. Mark Canha, again, wasn't terrible, but I just feel like we can go somewhere else. Jacob Barnes, maybe he's just meant to be in the middle relief spot. And like, who do we pull up? Middleton? Let me take a look at Middleton, like where he is rated with morale and everything like that. 77. He'll probably get a boost up in rating if we call him up. Compared to Jacob Barnes, I feel like Barnes is just the better pitcher though. I will give Middleton a shot though. We'll save that money. All right, boom. Let's just keep going forward. And 40 man. I'm gonna make sure everyone's added to the 40 man. Arbitration, here we go. I think everybody. Yeah, everybody. And then contracts, everybody as well. I'm doing a trade that may not even make any difference within or during this entire rebuild, but I don't really want Felix Pena, and the other 2 guys that I'm trading, Aaron Hernandez, we're not even gonna mention him. So Trent Duveau for Ray Ortiz and Guillermo Rivas, both kind of bullpen options for the future. 19 and 20 years old. I kind of want to make sure that we have enough bullpen arms for the future. That way we don't have to go out and sign a bunch. And at the same time, MLB The Show, when you do drafts, they start to just generate less and less bullpen arms as you go further and further into rebuild. So you kind of have to make sure that you always have bullpen arms stocked up, so that whenever that time does happen, when you just don't have enough, that you actually do have enough. I know it was a really confusing way of saying that. Basically, you got to make sure you have enough bullpen arms, and that's what I'm trying to do. So looking at our team, I'll show you our offseason real fast. And obviously these trades, I signed Giovanni Gallegos to a little bit of an extension through 2026. That way we don't have to worry about a closer for the time being. And we got Tyler Soderstrom, who I believe went to the... Ooh. Where did Tyler Soderstrom go? I forgot where he was drafted to in real life this season. But we picked him up in free agency. Brought in Jose Barrios. I said I wanted to get a 3 in the rotation. Well, I went out and got us an ace for a couple seasons until 2026. And then we brought in Salvador Perez as our starting catcher with a 2-year option. So basically this season, if he does well, if not, we'll let him go. He hasn't been doing fantastic, so I figured it's kind of a low risk, high reward type situation. Looking at the team, look at it. Ooh, beautiful. Griffin Canning is a 5. I want to see how he does down here, just because Dylan Bundy's been so consistent. Same with Heaney. And then this is our bullpen. Not too much has changed. Jaime Barria has been put to the bullpen, but that's about it. And then our bench slash starting lineup, again, not too much has changed, but with the way the team has been performing, I feel like offensively we've been outstanding. Pitching wise, I feel like that's where we've been let down a little bit. So I wanted to go out and improve the pitching a little bit. Another player I do want to trade just because he never develops into anything, Edwin Yan. Defensively, amazing. Just he doesn't really turn into anything. So I'm trying to see what we could use for the future. And I mean, I don't really know. Maybe a third baseman for the future. Maybe I can go out and get like a really good third base prospect. Let me see what I can find. This trade should not be like this. I'm going to take it as a straight up trade. I definitely could go out and be like, oh yeah, give me also like Alec Thomas and all these other guys. But I guess he was just drafted this season. And that's why his trade value is non-existent, which I feel like should be fixed in franchise. But 22 years old. So by the time Rendon's contract runs out, he'll be 25, 26. But 75 overall. Hitting stats look good. Fielding, speed, all that stuff. And okay. Yeah. So yeah. And I feel like Rendon, by the time he's 35, will start to regress. So having him as a potential backup, I think makes a lot of sense. So, okay, I'm going to make this trade with the Diamondbacks for Andres Rosas for Edwin Yan. All right, it's draft time. Here we go. Johan V.S. Meal, 79 potential. Yikes. I was kind of hoping for a little bit better. That's, oh, wow, this draft is bad. Oh, yikes. Oh, that's not good. Oh, not good. All right, we're not talking about it. All right, so we're a wild card team, which is crazy because we won 99 games, 99 and 63, and that is unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate. So let's take a look. Let's see how it went. Okay, I mean, the Astros were pretty good. We're the first ranked team in baseball, but if you think about it, like consistently winning 100 games is going to be tough. And man, that sucks. That does suck. No league leaders this year. Wow. Okay. Interesting. But I was noticing some stats as I kind of check every once in a while where I like stop and check in on the team and check in on the pitchers and everything like that, and just kind of see how everyone's doing. And there were some iffy outings from time to time by some players. So definitely going to keep our eye on that as we continue to go through this. But I'm interested in this guy. Right fielder, 22 years old, 77 overall. Okay. I'll keep my eye on him. I'm going to keep my eye on him. But basically what I was trying to say was there was just some players that just didn't do well. One of them, Jaime Barria. I think his time's coming to a close here. He becomes a free agent. I'm going to let him walk. Just isn't doing well. Ty Buttry's not doing well. He becomes a free agent too. He was really good in like this like middle relief setup spot, and then this year just not as good. Hansel Robles took a step back. Keenan Middleton was okay. Josh Taylor was good. Phil Matten was outstanding. And then Giovanni Gallegos as well was really good. So definitely need to invest in the bullpen a little bit this offseason. Jose Barrios was good. Heaney was solid. Bundy was good. Patrick Sandoval, you know what? He's improving. He's improving for sure. Griffin Canning was really good. So that's why I said I want to hold on to him. I want to develop him. And he can definitely probably move up into this 2-3 spot next year. And then we figure out if we want to keep Heaney or Bundy, as well as Patrick Sandoval, what we're going to do with him. On the bench, Brandon Marshall only had two hits and 4 at-bats, which, I mean, is actually pretty good. Alcantara came up. He was all right. Nothing special. Hermosillo. Jahmai Jones took a little bit of a step back. Jose Briseño as our catching backup. And then we take a look at the team. David Fletcher becomes a free agent this year. Not what you want to see at all. Definitely not what you want to see. Tommy Edman is still putting up really good numbers. Mike Trout, of course, is going to put up good numbers. Shohei, Rendon, Matt Thaiss took a little step back, but I mean, he's still doing really well. So, like, I'm not freaking out about that. Jared Walsh had a good year as our DH. Joe Adell still putting up fairly good numbers. And Salvador Perez was okay, but I kind of want a little bit better. Why did they take him out of the starting lineup? I had him in the starting lineup over Kevin Maitan, and they're like, no, I don't want him there. Whatever. Rick Halsey's getting better. You like to see that. So maybe he's a couple seasons away. Who else? Alexis Ojeda. His hitting stats are getting better, so we might have to call him up soon. Maybe he's a DH for the future. So there we go. Can we get past the White Sox again? We do. All right, cool. So Let me put Barrios down in like this spot, and then we'll go from there. So here we are against the Astros, and we advanced. Woo, that was a little worrisome. Holy cow. I'm gonna, wow, Griffin Canning got rocked. Jeez, what day was that? That one? Oh man. Okay, against the Indians now. We take the second game. We lose, we win, we lost, we win, and Jose Barrios versus Savale, and we take a 2-1 loss. Ty Buttrey, come on, 1 game away from a World Series. We're so close. We're literally inching our way to World Series appearance. Like, that's really what it's coming down to. We're so close. It is ridiculous. Okay, Phil Maton, been outstanding. He's not going to be the closer though, so like if that's like his make or break thing, that is really unfortunate, but he's not going to be. We've got Gallegos there. Andrew Heaney struggled this year. Man, they're not too different in their stat lines. Ooh, Robles I'm going to let go. Walsh I'm going to bring back, super cheap option. I'm going to let Perez go. I'm going to bring back Briseño because he's been just like a really good backup catcher. No point in letting him go. Oh, who do we go with here, man? This is so tough. Maybe Bundy. 1 more year. Bundy. Boom. And then do we have somebody that could come up and replace him? Maybe. I might have to spend a little bit of money on a pitcher. We'll have to wait and see. So let's see here. 40-man. Detmers for sure. We could give Detmers a shot. Just throw him into the lineup. There's a couple other guys I want to add. Make sure we don't lose them. I'm not sure about Buttrey. I probably will bring him back, but I'm not 100% sure. And then everybody else is getting a contract. This season, not much happened in free agency. Didn't go too crazy, except for one, I don't want to say like major thing, but it was a minor thing, and we'll show you. We'll show you. Griffin Canning, big contract extension. I really need him to give me like this type of year every season going forward. If not, we're in a lot of trouble, especially since I just paid him quite a bit of money, and that even hurts us in the long run, I think. Wilson Ramos, I signed him on a 1-year deal. Soderstrom just wasn't ready. That's really what it comes down to, and that was really it. I didn't go too crazy in free agency, and you can see we're sitting around $1 million. And then looking at our team, I decided to bring back Barria. I want to give him a spot in the 5. Or I wanted to give him a spot in the rotation at the 5, see how he does. If he doesn't do well, he 100% becomes a free agent at the end of the season. I'm going to let him walk. Reed Detmers, I'm going to give him his first shot at MLB time. I don't think he's ready. I don't think he even looks that great. I think he probably is going to be traded. I just don't see him developing that well. We signed this guy in free agency. I'm thinking more of a long reliever, but looks really good. His overall is dropping because I switched him from a starter to a reliever based on his stamina. That was really about it. And we have a couple players on waivers that not a big deal. Oh, Gary Perez is getting his MLB debut this season. He looks unreal. Unreal. I'm really excited about that one. And then our starting rotation looks strong. Lineup, another player gets their debut. Alexis Ojeda. Ooh, I think he's ready. He's definitely ready. I'm excited. Jared Walsh unfortunately gets put to the bench, and you guys can see here we've got these guys rocking the bench for us. We have Deshaun Knowles, who's a top prospect now. Rick Halsey, 25. I don't think he's gonna hit the point where I was hoping he would have. I was kind of hoping for like close to 70s contact by now, and he's just not really developing as a hitter at all. So I think he's gonna be a trade piece. He's got really good trade value, and if we need to, we can always trade him and see what we could get for him. And if David Fletcher doesn't do well, he becomes a free agent this year, we could always look to get a new second baseman. Andres Rosas, one of those players that I'm just going to see how he develops. He looks pretty decent. We've got Soderstrom as well. Brandon Marsh is still in the minors, who with Alexis Ojeda up now, I don't really know how he's going to get in the lineup. And then we have a couple other players, but yeah, team's looking good. I think we're ranked like 4th or 5th in baseball. We're first, actually. Defense is 17th, pitching is 1st, power is 8th, contact is 1st, and speed is 8th. That's the team. Pretty simple stuff. I'll see you guys at draft day. All right, draft time. Here we are. 89 potential for this catcher. Ozzy Beltran looks pretty solid. Cesar Gonzalez, 83 potential. 84 potential for Geronimo Carrera. And then the last one that's really good, 88 potential for Rafael Castro. The hits and Ks per 9's a little low though, so that's a little worrisome. 46 potential. What's the point? Don't even draft him. No point. But the top 4 looking really solid. I'm excited to see how this catcher develops, but let's go see how the season finished. This trade I'm going to get so much hate for. So much hate for. And I don't want to do it because he's been so good up until this point. It needs to be done though. Jaime Barria is not the one I'm talking about. Austin Cox, we signed him like 2 years ago in free agency, but I know you see him. David Fletcher, the greatest baseball player to live. He's fallen off. I don't know what happened, man. Like, he just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And he's hitting 245 this year. I don't know what's going on with David Fletcher. I don't want to trade him. He's been really good, and just his stats just keep going down. So unfortunately, I'm going to make a trade for a really young and up-and-coming pitcher, Asa Lacy from the Royals. Boom. That's a big trade for us. And with that, I've noticed the player's actually doing really, really well. And that's Rick Halsey. Wow, has he gotten better this year. I'm going to give him his shot at our probably second base spot, or maybe let Jahmai Jones. Maybe I'll give Jahmai Jones the rest of the season. And then what I'll do is I'll call up Alcantara just to finish the year. All right, so unfortunately, we couldn't knock the Astros out of their top spot in the division, but we went 97-65 and got a wild card spot. We finished 7 games behind the Astros, and I'm kind of interested to see what their team looks like. And I think, yeah, next year what we'll do is we'll do like a lineup check just to kind of see how every team is looking after that, because it's 5 seasons next year. So we'll do a little look around the league, see what everybody's looking like. But for now, I'm kind of interested to see what we're doing, because we've been slowly getting like worse and worse, which is not what you want, especially when, you know, we're trying to win Trout a World Series. We have been inching closer and closer, but it's just not doing enough. Like, we're just falling a little bit short. We had Rookie of the Year for Alexis Ojeda and a Gold Glove for Barrios. Trey Mancini with the Rays, and then Bo Bichette with the Blue Jays. Okay, all right. Framber Valdez. What? I know in real life he was outstanding during the postseason, but okay. We definitely need to figure out what we're going to do with our squad here. So let's take a look. Reed Detmer has struggled. And like I said, I don't think he's ever really going to be MLB ready until he's like 28, 29. And realistically, I think that might be a little bit too late for him. You know, he was okay. I'll probably leave him in this long relief spot, so we'll have to wait and see. Josh Taylor has been outstanding since we've picked him up. Keenan Middleton was good. Gary Perez struggled for sure. But I still think he's only going to get better. He's 24 years old. For some reason, he's super angry, but he's going to get good. Ty Buttrey, outstanding. Love to see it. Phil Maton had his worst season yet. And then Giovanni Gallegos, a couple years left on his deal, still really good. Jose Barrios, terrible. What is that garbage? Wow. Griffin Canning's really good. He had like almost an identical season as last year. Wow, his home runs 14 last year, 31 this year. Huh? Patrick Sandoval, I think he's got arbitration this year as his last year of arbitration. I'm not sold on him. I'm really not. What is it about him that's struggling right now? Is he walking a lot? Not really. I don't know. Something's up. Dylan Bundy, worst season, and then Asa Lacy's good. So I'm thinking it's going to be Barrios, Canning, Lacy, and then we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with the rest of the squad. This guy looks good. I don't know if he's MLB ready, but he looks good. And then we're going to have to figure out some other things. We've got some pitchers here and there that might end up being really, really good. I don't know. I don't know. This pitching is really wonky, and I don't like it. So let's take a look at our bench. Kevin Maitan, Hermosillo, Jared Walsh, only 59 at-bats, so can't really judge him there. Wilson Ramos, could have been better. Tommy Edmonds, our new leadoff hitter, and holy cow, did he have a season. Woo, love it. Joe Adell, I moved him up in the lineup, probably hurt him a little bit, but I still think he's only going to get better and better and better, so I need to lock him up long term. Mike Trout, outstanding year. Ohtani dropped off a little bit, but it's still a very good season. Rendon still putting up really good numbers. We've got Matt Thaiss, who had a really good season. Alexis Ojeda's only going to get better, which you love to see it. He did struggle this year, but I have faith. Jahmai Jones. Do we need to bring in a second baseman? I don't know. I really don't. And then Briseno. All right. So players to keep an eye on. We got Rosas here. Probably not going to call him up just yet. Halsey, I am going to call up. He's probably going to take this spot right here, Alcantara. He looks decent. Like I said, I wanted him to be in the 70s. He's close to the 70s for contact. I'm going to give him a shot. Soderstrom, I don't know if he's ready. I really don't. It's close. It is. It's very close. So I don't really know yet. But let's get into the postseason. We got to start winning soon because otherwise Trout's going to start falling off in rating. And we got to get Trout a World Series. So against the Astros, Bundy versus Valdez, we take that victory. Lacey versus Whitley, we take a loss. Barrios versus Syndergaard. Dude, I don't... What do I have to do? The Mets defeat the White Sox. Huh. Man. We're like so close every single time, and I don't know what to do. Ty Buttrey. I'm gonna give you a year. You can't be the closer though. Sorry. It's just not gonna happen. I can't give you that spot. We got a closer. Sorry, man. Pitching? Like what is it that I need to do? I'm gonna make sure all those guys get added to the 40-man. Arbitration. Man, I feel like this team is really, really good, but like what are we missing? I'm gonna offer everybody arbitration. No point in changing it there. Contracts, everybody's getting a contract. All right, I'm starting season 5 off with a big actually, it's not a big trade. I lied to you guys. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. But here we go. The player I did want was this guy, Chad Kloboff or Klaubauf, whatever it is. 6'4", left-handed batter. Ooh, lefty bat. I don't know why I said that so weirdly. Good arm strength, good arm accuracy as a first baseman doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but he looks really good. Unfortunately, I have this rule where I don't like to trade within the division just because when you think about it, would the Athletics really want to send their top prospect to me, a divisional rival? Probably not. So this was the trade I had sorted out to make this happen. Myers, Jackson, and Diaz. Boom. So then I realized he's part of the Oakland Athletics organization. Probably shouldn't make that trade. So instead, I'm going to go for this prospect, Tony Mendel, and then I can save Pedro Diaz, and I'm going to trade Jeremiah Jackson and Mike Myers for Tony Mendel. Still looks decent, just not as good as the other guy. So I'm going to make that trade, and then let's talk about everything going on with this squad. So free agency, I signed Joe Adell to a long-term deal, big money as well. We've got Tommy Edman, couple year extension, and then same thing with Ohtani. We're really tight on money, like big time tight on money, and we might be in a little bit of trouble. Griffin Canning, I already showed you that deal. And then Caleb Ferguson was brought in on a 3-year deal. So, like I said, I'm really trying to go all out to win Trout a World Series. We've got Rendon for a couple more years. Trout for the rest of the rebuild, basically. We've got Barrios, Canning, Gallegos. We've got some other big contracts coming up soon. We need to win within the next couple years, or we might be in some very bad trouble because players like Jahmai Jones become free agents soon. A couple of our other young guys start to hit that kind of weird free agency arbitration period. So yeah, that's this is a little bit of an issue. So this is how we're gonna look for the year. I'm gonna swap this around. So we're gonna have this as our bullpen. Reed Detmers is gonna get one more shot in the long relief spot, and then Dwayne Morales has been called up. I'm not too sure how he's gonna do. I'm hoping really well, but we'll have to wait and see. And then I said I wasn't going to give Patrick Sandoval another shot, but I looked at the other guys that we have. We just don't have anybody that can be an MLB ready pitcher just yet. So one more shot. One more, like, this is your for real last chance to really prove your worth to the squad. And this is our offense. The lowest rated player, Tyler Soderstrom, but he's 23 years old. He's only going to improve. Rick Halsey has been called up. I really considered putting him over Jahmai Jones, but I'm going to give Jahmai Jones a full season to really show that he can be a starter every day at second base. And then we have players like Deshaun Knowles. Who else? Now Tony Mendel. We've got, Andres Rosas. We've definitely got some names to look forward to in the future. I actually think I could call up Maitan just to be an extra bat for us now. And then that way we don't have Rosas getting blocked off from third base. And then we can let that other guy we just traded for take first. So here we go. Let's take a look around the league, kind of see the rest of the teams. The Athletics are looking really good. Clyde Bunch, what a name. You've got the Mariners, who look okay, not that great. The Rangers are looking like they're going to start to get a little bit better. Obviously, the Astros are really good. You know, they've been our main competitor throughout this entire thing. You've got the Braves, the Marlins. Okay, so some really good teams. But again, it looks like it's pretty even when you look at some of the teams around here. There's like not a team so far that like really stands out above the rest. A lot of pretty equally rated teams. I mean, that's a pretty solid team with Story, Altuve, Arenado, Renato Nunez as well. The Dodgers don't look that good. The Padres look okay. But yeah, like I'm mentioning, it looks pretty evenly spread out so far. So I feel like we have a pretty good chance to do some damage. The Blue Jays looks pretty good, but the White Sox do as well. But I feel like we have a chance. Like our window's closing, so we definitely need to prove that, or our window's closing, so we really need to get that World Series victory. But yeah, I like the team. I think it's the pitching that's really carrying the Astros. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty strong pitching staff. So, okay, how can we turn our current squad into a World Series winner? And I think it's really the pitching, and I've been preaching that for the past couple seasons. But I've also been thinking, like, we have really good pitchers, and I just feel like we've been getting a little bit unlucky. I think that's the big thing. It's just a little bit of unluckiness, when most of the time we get that luckiness. We get that team that just somehow sneaks into the postseason and wins a World Series. So in terms of 10-year rebuilds, I think this is the worst team that I've had in terms of success, like winning World Series titles, divisions, and all that stuff. But this is still a really good team. All right, let's take a look at this draft. Actually was pretty good. This was the one where I had like the least amount of faith in it, but Doug Dams, we'll go Doms, maybe Doms, I don't know. 83 potential, pretty good. Guillermo Valdez, 90 potential, 84 potential for Boris Henley, and then Robert Callaway, 83 potential. Even Irving Sharp, pretty decent. All starting pitchers. Didn't really expect it to go that way, but we just had a lot of starting pitchers available in the draft, so I went with them. So pretty happy with it. So at the deadline, Patrick Sandoval, it's not working out. I'm going to trade Michael Hermosillo and Pedro Diaz for Lonnie Lozano, who having a great year in San Francisco right now. And I feel like might as well pick up a good little prospect pitcher. I looked around the league. There's plenty of other pitchers that we could go after, you know, like Mackenzie Gore, Adrian Morejon. And I was looking for some that we could afford that wouldn't get too expensive based on contracts, since we're not going to be able to afford any big contracts for quite some time. So I kind of like looked around the league, and Lonnie Lozano, he's got team control for the rest of the rebuild. I figured this was like a no-brainer for us. So Lonnie Lozano is going to be the only change I make. Everybody else is actually performing very, very well. So I just wanted to make that trade at the deadline of season 5. I'll see you guys at the end of it. All right, so we're back on top, 108 and 54. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And that was great. That's what I want to see. I want our team to be the top of the division. I told you the Astros are going to be a tough competitor though. But and you can see like we're neck and neck, just team stats and everything. So looking at the rest of the league, you can see, I mean, we would have won the division in every single. Holy cow, the White Sox. What was the White Sox squad? Whoa. Let's take a look at them, because now I'm kind of worried about them. Where's the White Sox? Madrigal, Vaughn, Bichette, Robert. Oh, I did mention, yeah, this. What is this team? What about their pitching staff? Nola, Cease, Kopech. Okay. Ralph Kent, Nick Margevicius. I mean, look at that bullpen. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, the White Sox are pretty good, huh? Gallegos back on top for most saves. And looking at the rest of the league, we got a couple guys for hits. For doubles, you got Tommy Edmonds. Triples, you got Jahmai Jones, Edmund, and Joe Adell. You like to see that. Home runs, just Rendon. Don't like seeing that, but hopefully we got some other awards and things like that. So Dwayne Morales, Rookie of the Year. That was it. Okay. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? And okay, some interesting things. No Reliever of the Year. Wow, Taylor Rogers was pretty good, huh? Dwayne Morales won Rookie of the Year. Blaze Jordan won it in the National League for the Reds. All right. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. Reed Detmers, he's up to an 85, and like his stats don't look bad. I might just let him rock this long relief role. Like, I feel like that might just be the best spot for him. Caleb Ferguson's doing well. Gary Perez is, you know, showing that he's actually going to be a really good bullpen arm for us. He might be our setup guy going forward. Keenan Middleton was good. Josh Taylor, his contract ends, and I feel like he was really good throughout this entire rebuild up until this year. And, like, he still was he was okay. Phil Matten was really solid. And then Gallegos, I think he's got one more year left on his deal, so I'm going to let him be the closer for that year. I'm thinking about, like, Phil Matten is outstanding. And if I can bring him back on a fairly cheap deal, I'll definitely will. Otherwise, we've got players like McCann, Steve Mathis, you know, even Corey Callaway looks like he's getting pretty good really quickly. So we've got options in the bullpen for us. Jose Barrios, back to normal. Love to see it. Griffin Canning, still putting up good numbers. Asa Lacy struggled a little bit. Still have faith in him. Lonnie Lozano, Dwayne Morales, really good. I'm like really happy with this starting five. Like, I don't want to change it. So we're good there. Looking at our bench, could have been a little bit better. Ricky Halsey, though, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Tommy Edmonds going to remain our leadoff guy. He's been very good throughout this entire thing. I mean, like, we signed him till 2028. So basically, like, I think up until the last 2 years of the rebuild. Rendon, obviously at 34. We've got him for one more year after this season. So we got to make sure we win a World Series before we lose one of our best players. Trout, kind of the same thing. He's going to start to fall off quickly. So we got to get this World Series. Got to get it. Shohei, really good season. Matt Thaiss, he's still putting up good numbers. He does become a free agent. And, like, I want to keep him because he's been very good. But, like, we've got Tony Mendel. We've got Andres Rosas. We've got, I mean, we have a couple other players that we could really use. Jahmai Jones. Maybe it's just Halsey's job going forward. Alexis Ojeda didn't do that great. Hate to see that. And then Joe Adell put up 20 home runs, which is nice. And Tyler Soderstrom, hopefully he develops. He's only 23, so hopefully it gets a little bit better as we go. So here we go. Postseason time. Taking on the Yankees. And we advance to the next round. Taking on the White Sox. This one's going to be a tough one for sure. And Dwayne Morales, I'm going to give him a shot. We take that victory. We take that one. Another win. One more. That's all we need. Come on. There it is. Oh, man. So we're in the World Series. We finally made it there. And we're going to have not Dwayne Morales on the mound. He did struggle in the first one. So we're going to go Barrios. Lonnie Lozano's pitching really well. So I might go like that. Like, Lonnie Lozano is really good. So first game, we take a loss against the Diamondbacks. We get the win the second game. Lose the third. The fourth, we lose again, and then we gotta get Barrios at the top. So it's gonna be like this, and then Lonnie and Griffin. Our starting pitching has really let us down. We've allowed a lot of runs. All right, we get that win. Please, Lonnie, keep us alive. Griffin Canning, is it Griffin Canning's day? I don't think it can be, man. But who? Could Barrios do it on short rest? I think it's got to be Barrios on short rest. We got to do it. Barrios on short rest. This is World Series Game 7. Here we go. Boom. It paid off. 6-0 victory. The Angels win the World Series. We finally did it. Woo. Talk about a postseason. Shohei looks like to be the MVP for the World Series. And he was also for the postseason. So, whoo. Okay. Talk about Jose Barrios delivering when we needed him to most. And this Lonnie Lozano guy, he might be the real deal. That was insane. Looking at our offensive lineup, Trout struggled a bit, but Ohtani he produced. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And then looking at the rest of the team, I mean, everybody did really well. So we had a couple interesting numbers towards the bottom where players just didn't do that great, but overall really happy with the team. And I'm going to pick up this option for Barrios. I'm going to pick up this option for Rendon as well. Kevin Maitan hasn't really done much, never really given a shot either. It's super cheap, might as well take it. Phil Matten, can you be a bullpen guy for one more year? Like, that's all I'm asking. If not, I completely understand it. You probably want to be the closer, but Keenan Middleton, what do you want? Ooh, $4.5 million. What about we do this? I'll even bump it up a little bit. There we go. Josh Taylor, I'm gonna let walk. Jared Walsh, he's been really good. Like, never really gave him a shot, sadly, but even when he was given the shot, he was pretty good. And then Jose Briseño, I'm gonna continue to be our backup catcher. If he's cool with that, I'll bump it up a little bit more. So there we go. Those are our contracts offered. Hopefully, Rendon has exercised his option. Okay, that's good that he didn't want to leave us coming off a World Series victory. I'm going to add Rosas, McCann, and then probably Soriano. I'm not too sure about Gatto. And then over their player budget. Oh, no. Oh, no. What are we going to do? We can't sign anybody. Oh. So Rendon's got to go. Sadly, Rendon's got to go. Like, we can't afford anybody. All right, this took longer than it should have, and this is the move. I said I wasn't interested in changing the pitching, the starting rotation up at all, but I might. And that might mean Jose Barrios is going to get traded because I'm not going to re-sign him. And he did have a fantastic year last year. I mean, we could also get rid of Griffin Canning, who's been a little disappointing. But I'm going to get this really good guy from the White Sox, Ralph Kent. Arbitration ends at 2029, so we might keep him, we might not keep him. But we get rid of a lot of contract here, which should open up a lot for the budget. It does get us within budget. We're not going to be able to sign anybody besides the people that are already on our team. But we have players that we can call up. We have players that like already in the minors. And I'm still going to decide if I want to keep Barrios or not, because with Ralph Kent coming in, I just don't see who we would get rid of here. And it would probably be Barrios or Griffin Canning. It might even be Griffin Canning, man. It might be Griffin Canning. So I'm going to see what we could do. I'll see you guys next season. So we're still in the off season, and I've been trying to open up more cap space or salary or whatever you want to call it. And we got to get rid of Griffin Canning. And the more I thought about it, like he's been disappointing, to say the least. Like, he's had some good years. Like, I'm looking at these two right here. Even 2021 was good, but like it just hasn't been good enough. And I was kind of looking at what we need in the squad. We need just a big bat, and I'm gonna pick up Miguel Sano for the last 2 years of his contract. It might even be one by the time the next season starts, which I'm okay with. It opens up more more cap space for us to be able to kind of work around our tight budget as is. So that's the trade I'm gonna make. And that's really it for the offseason. I can't really afford to make any new signings. I can't really afford to make too many trades because we need to keep the team that we have, and we got to hope that the team kind of delivers for the next couple seasons and go from there. Because like our budget right now, 1.87, that's not enough to be able to afford new players. So we basically just need Barrios and Gallegos to leave next year. We need the young guys that we have to kind of step up their game, and then we can go from there. So let's see how the next year goes. I think it's the 6th year, 2026. So see you guys then. All right, season 6. I made a little bit of a last minute, big money move. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, but yeah, it actually happened. So I'm actually going to throw myself up here. So we signed a couple guys, to fill out the minor league squad. But one of those guys that was available that I was like, let's take a shot on him. A 36-year-old Freddie Freeman. Still putting up really good numbers. 1-year deal, $13.5 million. We also signed this pitcher. Let me find him. His name was Burt Payton. Looks pretty good. 19 years old. Could be a good trade piece, or even someone that develops really quickly, and we can get him into the starting lineup. With that being said, for once I have like a crazy amount of good relievers and not too many good starting pitchers in the farm system. But this is the team. This is gonna be our starting rotation and bullpen for the season. Rivas came over, and I think the trade with the Mets. We drafted McCann, we drafted Perez, signed Ferguson. We got Gallegos, Middleton, Reed Detmers. We've got these pitchers here, and then when you look at some of the players we have down here, we've got Callaway, we've got another Callaway, we got Valencia. I mean, plenty of like B potential and higher pitchers in the bullpen and also starting rotation. So I feel like pitching wise, we should be okay. We do lose Jose Barrios at the end of the year. His contract does expire. Same with Giovanni Gallegos. So that's a little bit of a worry. We're losing one of our best pitchers, our closer for the last 4 or 5 years. And then, a couple other players here like Matt Thaiss, Jemai Jones, who I don't know if I'll keep him. I probably won't, to be honest. But we should have a little bit better budget next season. Some big name players with some big contracts are leaving. And I feel like we have players already within our farm system or on the team that can replace it. So I feel like we should be okay, and we should be able to spend a little bit of money next year. You guys can see our bench here. And Ojeda just really hasn't developed like I really was hoping. You know, Andres Rosas is up here. We'll see how he does. He'll get a couple at bats here and there. But look at this team. With the addition of Freddie Freeman, I'm really liking the squad. Rick Halsey is going to be the second baseman this season. He's just got really good hitting stats. I feel like let's give him a shot. If he doesn't do well, then we'll give Andres Rosas a shot. Like, it just really depends on who does well and go from there. So team looks good. We've got a lot of power. We've got some really good hitters as well. I like this team a lot. Like, this is a really solid team. I think we're ranked like third or something, second. And the only thing that's bad is defense, which, you know, that's kind of normally what happens here. So I'll see you guys at draft day in 2026, and we'll see how it goes from here. Because I'm feeling good about this team. Maybe we can get another World Series with them, but who knows? We haven't been too lucky so far. All right, let's take a look at this draft. Probably the last one of the rebuild, and it was okay. Kevin Huerta's decent, 76 potential though. 83 for David Velasco, and then 87 for Brian Trujillo. I mean, I don't know. They probably won't see any game time. Maybe Velasco, depending on how he develops, but it was okay. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, so another 100-win season, and I mean, the team has always been really good. We won the division for quite a bit, or for most of the seasons. It's just haven't been lucky getting to the World Series. I think we've only done it once, and the one time we did make it, though, we won. So it's like, can we just get there consistently and start winning more often? That's really what it comes down to. As we look around the league, you guys can see who's the wild card, the division winners, and everything like that. But, you know, I wish we would have done a little bit better. Oh, I guess I don't want to say I wish we would have done better. I just wish we could do better in the playoffs. That's really what it comes down to. Ohtani led the league in home runs. Freddie Freeman had an outstanding season, it looks like. And Asa Lacy and Jose Barrios were pretty good as well. So, I definitely don't want Jose Barrios to leave. You know, he's been one of our better pitchers for like the whole time we've had him. He had that one bad year where he had a 5 ERA, but outside of that, he's been really, really good. And I don't know, it just, can we afford to keep him on the team? You know, that's kind of the big thing, because I know Shohei becomes a free agent soon, and I mean, we're paying him big money anyways, but it's just like, we have a couple players who become free agents within the next couple seasons, so it's going to be tough to like try to balance out the books there, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just going to be really tough because we've already been in a really tight budget situation already. So realistically, does it make sense to bring in Jose Barrios? Probably, or keep Jose Barrios? Probably not. But Reed Detmers is looking like he's starting to turn into a really solid pitcher, which I would like to see that. Keenan Middleton's been really good. We've got Howard McCann in his first season was like really solid, 74 innings as well. Rivas struggled a little bit, definitely struggled a little bit. Gary Perez is looking really solid. You got Caleb Ferguson, and then Giovanni Gallegos has been amazing since we brought him in 2021. Like, he's been crazy good, but I think at 36 it's time to move on. Jose Barrios has been really good. Asa Lacy did well. Ralph Kent, I'm hoping he gets better as he ages. You know, he's only 24, so he definitely should improve, and I'll keep my eye on that. Lonnie Lozano is unreal. Like, I'm really glad we traded for him because he is good. Dwayne Morales, not as good as he was last year, but he should continue to improve. And I feel like we're in a good spot, like pitcher wise. Like, we have good pitchers. That's really what I'm trying to get at. And you know, with Gallegos leaving, we have Ray Ortiz, and then we also have Corey Callaway, was originally a starting pitcher, and I moved him to the bullpen, and he looks very good. So we should be good there. Looking at the lineup, Brandon Marsh only had 7 at bats, but man, did he do well when he got a chance. Andre Rosas, not that great. Jemai Jones, Ojeda, and Briseño's been our backup, and he's just been a really good backup. So Tommy Edman, still doing really well. Like, can't hate on it. Joe Adell, 37 home runs. Ooh, love it, love it, love it. Mike Trout, when does his contract expire? The last year of the rebuild, so that's good to see. We'll have him for the whole rebuild. He ain't going anywhere. Shohei was MVP, 57 home runs. Ooh. Miguel Sano had a good season. Matt Thaiss had a good year. And Freddie Freeman, 47 home runs. You can't hate on that. Rick Halsey in his first full season was actually okay. I'm expecting him to get like better and better as the years go on, so we should be good there. Our catcher improved a little bit too, and we got a couple players down here to keep our eye on, but it's going to be interesting to see how we can get all these guys in. Do we try to keep Freddie Freeman? It's looking like he's fallen off by quite a bit, so maybe we let him go. But playoff time, the fun stuff. Can we get past the Toronto Blue Jays? Greg Corona was actually the player, the very first draft. I highlighted him. It was him and a catcher, and I forgot where the catcher went, but please don't lose. Okay. Now we're taking on the Indians here, and we're down. Okay. Oh, no. We got knocked out by the Indians. Man, that's tough. Mets defeat the Indians, though, and, like, we've been one series short of the World Series, I think, for, like, half the rebuild. Like, it's tough. So let's take a look and see what we do here. So Keenan Middleton's been very good, and let's see. If we lose him, I mean, we do have someone that we can call up to replace him, but I don't think we have like two or three guys, because I think Rivas is going to go down. I'm going to call up someone to replace him, and then Gallegos is leaving, so I'm going to call up somebody to replace him, and I'm going to take this option for Middleton. It's $4 million. It's nothing crazy. Reed Detmers gets one more year with the team. I'm going to pick up this option with Chris Rodriguez, and Jose Barrios is going to want a lot. I can't afford it. Giovanni Gallegos, he doesn't want a lot, but I just have a feeling he's going to start to fall off, and it's just time to let him go. And Matt Thaiss. We've got Tony Mendel sitting in the farm system. We also have Sano. How much does Thaiss want? 14 a year. What if I bump it down and we do this? So if he has a bad year, we let him walk, but if he continues to do well, we keep him. I feel like that's a fair thing to do, and we'll move forward with this. Okay, 40 man. I'm gonna make sure I add those guys. Don't want most of those guys to leave. Arbitration, gonna give it to everybody, and then contracts, gonna give it to everybody. All right, so we're in 2027. We've got what, 4 years left, I think it is, and yeah, like this whole budget situation, I put myself in a little bit of a pickle, makes it a little difficult. So let's take a look at the squad real quick. You guys can see the budget here. Obviously we had to make a couple changes, and yeah, like I said, it definitely put us in a tough situation, and that's not good, right? We couldn't really sign anybody. We had to make some trades to make sure that we were within budget, and yeah, we're in a tough spot. So no big changes. We kind of just brought up the players that we already had in the farm system, and this is what the team's looking like. You got Asa Lacy, Ralph Kent, Lonnie Lozano, Dwayne Morales, Reed Detmers. You got Jeff Franklin, who's a 73 coming up. Hopefully he can do the job. Keenan Middleton, Corey Callaway, Steve Mathis, Howard McCann, Caleb Ferguson, who does become a free agent. So I'm kind of hoping we can bring him back, because he's been kind of nasty since we brought him in. And then, of course, Gary Perez, we're going to stick him in. We're going to throw him into the deep end. Hopefully he can handle the pressure, because, man, we're relying on a pretty young bullpen. I think we got, what, 23, 21, 25, 26, 29, and 27. Like, I mean, that's a pretty young bullpen there. We got 27 for the rotation, 25, 24, 27, and 28. We got a young team now. And I mean, even the lineup, you know, you got Edmund, who's 31. Okay, but you got Joe Adell. You've got, okay, maybe I lied. Brandon Marsh is 28. Rick Halsey's 28. Soderstrom's 25. And then obviously Andres Rosa's 26. Kyron Paris is 25. Deshaun Knowles, I'm pretty sure, is 25, 26. Like, we just got a lot of young players on this team, so we got to figure out who we want to keep, who we want to trade away, because we do have some players we could trade away to get some really good players in return. But we also got to worry about this budget. So obviously we only got 4 years left. I'm not going to worry about the draft anymore, but I'll see you guys at the end of this season, see how it goes. All right, so I was kind of keeping my eye on how the team went, and it wasn't looking too great with the pitching staff. So the fact that we won the division at 96 and 66, I'm a little surprised. So here we go. We won it by 6 games. We're the first ranked team in baseball, but you can see the ERA is pretty high. So we're not looking too comfortable pitching wise. And I have a feeling I'm get let down this postseason. But let's take a look. Dwayne Morales had the best winning percentage, and Gary Perez had the most saves. Like, those two guys were our best pitchers by quite a bit. And I'll show you why in a second. Unless some pitchers really turn things around, it's going to be pretty ugly. Because I kept my eye on the pitchers, and boy, it was not looking good. It really was not. Most of them had like 4 or 5 ERAs. It was bad. So you guys can see who's winning awards and things like that. As you can see, not a Greg Corona. That was the guy that I had my eye on after season 1's draft, I believe it was. But yeah, you can see we're not really in the mix for a lot of different awards, like anywhere. As like I'm mentioning, it's not good. So Jeff Franklin got absolutely rocked, and based on his stats, makes sense, right? I was a little hopeful with this one, didn't really pan out. Keenan Middleton, his contract comes to an end. He's gonna leave after this year. Kind of had his first bad season. It's okay. Corey Callaway got roughed up a little bit, which sucks because I have high expectations for this guy. Maybe he's our long reliever. Maybe that's who I turn to instead. Steve Mathis actually turned it around. At one point, he had like a 4.8 ERA, so he definitely turned it around the second half of the season. McCann struggled after having an outstanding year last year. And then you got Caleb Ferguson, who actually turned it around. He had like a 4.7 ERA. And then Gary Perez was lights out. Love it. And then our starting pitching wasn't phenomenal. It really wasn't. Lonnie Lozano is still proving he can be a really good pitcher. Same with Dwayne Morales. But you guys can see the rest. It's not looking fantastic. So William Holmes, I just don't think he's going to be good enough. He is 26, so he could definitely improve. But I think he's going to be a trade piece. And then when you look at the rest of our pitchers, we don't have anybody too crazy good that I would want to try to bring up. Maybe Ray Ortiz, or maybe Guillermo Rivas or Bruce Valencia. I know Bruce Valencia had a pretty good year in the minors, but we'll have to wait and see. And then when you take a look at our team, Brandon Marsh didn't do well. I actually took him out of the DH spot because he was struggling so much. Andres Rosas, I kind of used him as a lefty platoon guy. Doesn't really do well against lefties. Don't see what the issue is. Miguel Sano kind of struggled at the beginning of the year, so I actually took him out of the lineup. Deshaun Knowles, and then Jose Briseño. And then when you look at the actual team, Tommy Edman, is slowly kind of falling off in terms of average, but like the on-base percentage is still really good. So I'm happy with that. Joe Adell is still putting up really good numbers. Shohei, of course. You've got Mike Trout still putting up 40 home runs at the age of 35. Look at those attributes. And you guys can see the other guys here, just so you can see what everybody's doing. You've got Matt Thaiss, who's still putting up really good numbers. The thing is, like, he's got one more year, so that'll probably be the last year with the team. Kyron Paris, I gave him of kind of the rest of the season from the trade deadline on, and he actually proved to be pretty good. So he might be our third baseman going forward. Ojeda put up some pretty decent numbers for the second half of the season. Rick Halsey, maybe he's just not our shortstop. Maybe we need to start trading some players away and getting some guys who are actually gonna produce offensively, because this guy definitely could come up and be like our DH guy. I think he's got some really good hitting stats. Ozzy Beltran, I don't think is ready, but like I think we're gonna have to make a trade or two to kind of help out with the bats that we're gonna lose with old age and everything like that. So here we go, postseason time, and we get eliminated. The Indians, I think, have been kind of a bogey team for us, and we're just super unlucky in this one. Only one World Series, and I feel like we've actually put together really good teams. We won the division, I think, every year except for like 2, right? Win the division. And then so in 2024, 2023, we didn't, but I'm pretty sure we won it every other year, which is kind of crazy. So Ohtani, we got one more option year. I'm going to take it. It'll probably be the last year that we keep him. I'm going to keep Tommy Edman as well. And then Matt Thaiss I'm going to take. We're going to be pretty tight on money. I'm going to let Middleton, Sano. How much does Briseño want? $4 million. I can get a backup for better. Caleb Ferguson was really good. I'm only going to give him a 1-year deal, though. The thing is, he wants a lot of money. Hopefully, he takes that. And I'm going to go forward with negotiations. So, 40-man. I'm going to make sure I don't lose Mendel. I don't want to lose him. He's kind of the key piece. Maybe add those other guys as well. Arbitration. Let's go with everybody. Contracts as well. And looking at our budget, we have $3.5 million. Ferguson did not sign. So if that's the case, I might just go out and who's this? 26. Okay. Greg Corona is available. Ooh, okay. So we could go out and sign somebody. We could also go out to the and sign somebody in the bullpen, or we could just rely on the people that we have in our farm system, which would save us some money as well. And then that way maybe we could call up, or not call up, but maybe we could sign a really good bat, since we are probably going to start trading away some of the bats that we do have because they're just not really producing, and we kind of need players that are producing. So I'll see what I can do. So we're in the last few years of this rebuild. We've got 3 years left, and I've kind of given up on 2 of our prospects that we've kind of tried to build up into some really good players, and unfortunately it just didn't work out. We're gonna trade Deshaun Knowles, who's been kind of in the farm system. He's a little bit younger than Brandon Marsh, but I haven't really given Brandon Marsh a fair chance. I feel like maybe we should. Do we keep him, or do we keep Deshaun Knowles? I guess we'll trade Deshaun Knowles, and then the other one is gonna be Alexis Ojeda. I've given him ample chances. Like, we gave him 2 full seasons here. We gave him a half a season here, or like a third of a season. He was okay. Like, he wasn't great. And then on top of that, we're gonna trade Rick Halsey. I've given him 2 seasons, and like the best he did was this year, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. And I feel like we're about to lose like Tommy Edman. I'm not too sure about Andres Rosas still. The CPU decided that Kyron Paris deserved to be on waivers. I really hope a team doesn't pick him up because I need him in my lineup. But I'm going to trade for a guy I don't think I've ever gotten. Luis Garcia, the really young player in real life for the Nationals. I think he's like 19 or 20 in real life. Like, he looks like the real deal. He's been really good for the most part last couple seasons. So I'm going to bring him in. He does become a free agent, but I think with the money we're going to lose from Tommy Edman leaving, we can just throw at Luis Garcia and we'll be okay. So there's our new shortstop. So just to show you what we did in the offseason, we didn't do anything. I just signed all these guys to fill up the minor league roster. Nothing happened in the past offseason, and it was just that trade. Budget-wise, we're a little tight. Edman, Ohtani, Theis, and a couple other guys do become free agents, so it just depends on how Ohtani does. If he does well, I'll bring him back. If not, I'm just going to let him walk. I know he's been here for his entire career. He's been putting up really good numbers. So I don't want to see him go, especially since we only have 3 years left. Keeping him for like the rest of the rebuild kind of makes sense. I'm not too sure about Tommy Edman. Like, again, he's been fantastic for us. Outstanding. Probably one of the best pickups I've made in a rebuild in terms of like production. But we just traded for Luis Garcia, and I feel like we do have Kyron Paris, who looks like he's going to develop into a pretty solid middle infielder. Edman, I feel like, is going to be a player who's going to want, 20-30 million. We could use that money just to bring back Luis Garcia. We also have Asa Lacy becoming a free agent. So I feel like we're doing pretty good with what we have now. So let's see how this season plays out, and I'll see you guys at the end of it. I guess I should show you the team, right? That would make a little sense, right? So here we go. This is what we're rocking with. I moved Corey Callaway to the long relief spot. Every single guy in this bullpen is either a player that we signed in free agency. I think the only one we signed in free agency was Corey Callaway. We traded for Ray Ortiz and Guillermo Rivas, but Mathis, Valencia, McCann, and Perez all were drafted by us. And then all these guys are also, besides Asa Lacy and Detmers, those were draft picks as well. Or I think we traded for Lozano. So most of these guys are all like scouted players. And then you guys can see this is our lineup. Tony Mendel was acquired in the trade last year, I believe it was. And then you guys can see the rest of the team. Andres Rosas is getting the full-time job at third. Brandon Marsh is going to be that platoon outfielder with Johan Villasmil, who we drafted, I think, season 4, season 5. Carlos Reyna's here. And then we have a couple other prospects. This guy looks like he's going to be a pretty good hitter, so we might call him up soon. But I'm going to sign somebody just to fill out the roster spot. It's going to be... Let's go with Teoscar. One season for Teoscar. He's not going to be an everyday guy, but we'll bring him in. He'll be a platoon guy for us. And then once Kyron Paris comes back into the team, he'll probably platoon with Rosas or someone, or maybe DH. But Kyron Paris is definitely a player I want in the lineup. So now I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, so again, another divisional win, and like it's kind of like a broken record at this point because we always win in the division, but we just can't really make it to the World Series. 112-50. So like, it was, again, a really good season. And as we go through the league, we're clearly the best team in baseball. I don't know why the defense is so low. I feel like our team's not bad defensively. And like, we can take a look at like the fielding ratings for our players, because I don't see how we're the worst one of the worst, like almost the worst ranked team in terms of defense. Like, I don't think that would be true, but Ohtani had the most RBIs, Luis Garcia had the most walks, and then Ralph Kent had the most shutouts and complete games. So, okay, you like seeing that. And as we go through this, I did stop at like the contract extensions point, which is the month of August. And I did extend a couple players' contracts, and I already know that next year is going to be a little tight on the budget, but we should have some flexibility where we're able to bring in at least a couple players. So that should be okay. We should be able to finish out the rebuild without having to stress about money. We had the Rookie of the Year, and that was it. Dustin May won MVP, so that means he's going to win Cy Young. And 51 home runs for Jordan. Okay, he's just been cranking out home runs. 448 so far in his career. And we had 2 players in the Cy Young race, but Dustin May was just on another level. Brendan McKay did well, which is like the first time I've ever seen that happen. And Matt Thaiss was up there for what's it called? Batting title. There we go. But yeah, Tony Mendel was unbelievable, and I kept my eye on him throughout the entire season. So here we go. Corey Callaway, long reliever, no doubt about it. 22 years old. This guy is nutty. Insane. Remember, this was a guy we signed as a starting pitcher, and I said he's got some really good per nines. I just wanted to train up his clutch, and he's really done that, and he's turned into a really good long reliever. Steve Mathis is looking really good as well. We've got Ray Ortiz, first season. Not going to stress about it too much. I am going to start training up his clutch a little bit more, see if that helps him out. Guillermo Rivas, not bad. Another player that I'm training up his clutch and his per nines, see if we can get him a little bit better. Bruce Valencia did struggle. I think it's just the per nines at this point, so we'll see if we can maybe trade him. I think it's going to be the hits per nine and the walks per nine being so low, so maybe we trade him for a different lefty, but we'll probably give him another season just to see what happens. Howard McCann did well. You know, his stats are looking pretty solid. And then Gary Perez has been our closer for the last 2 seasons, and he has been lights out. Love to see it. Asa Lacy, I didn't extend his contract. He was a player that I was perfectly fine letting walk. Ralph Kent extended his contract for like 10 years. I was like, you know what? Let's just keep him here for the rest of the rebuild. And then Lonnie Lozano was good. Dwayne Morales was good. Reed Detmers is finally starting to show his worth. He does become a free agent, so I guess it just depends on how much he wants. If he doesn't want too much, I'll keep him around. If not, I don't know, man. We might have to trade some of these younger guys that we have, or like some of these like 80s, 78s, just to see if we can find someone just hold us over for the next couple seasons. Because again, our budget is going to be a little tight, and I don't want to get us into another area where we just have to trade away a player just because we're stuck with a pretty tough budget. Brandon Marsh had a really good season, limited appearances once again, but he was really good. Reyna was just our backup. Villasmil, not great. And then Teoscar Hernandez, 5 at-bats, 2 hits. So, I mean, pretty good. And then Kyron Paris, a player that I said I wanted to get into the team. And I think he's actually going to end up being our backup middle infielder. Those are really good numbers for just under 300 at-bats. So, Tommy Edman, again, he's been really good. And I hate to see him go, but I just know he's going to start to fall off. And I can't afford $30 million for him. Luis Garcia, really good numbers. You know, pretty similar to what Tommy Edman's doing. So are we really going to lose the offensive production? No. And I extended his contract, so we're set. We don't have to worry about Luis Garcia leaving anytime soon. Shohei, I extended him for the rest of the rebuild, so we don't have to worry about that. And he had a crazy good year. Just hit 300 home runs in his career. Outstanding. Mike Trout, 37 home runs, even though he is falling off very, very quickly. And hopefully he can at least make it through the rebuild. That would be awesome to see. Joe Adell had a career year. Love it. And we already have him locked up for the rebuild, so I'm not going to stress about that. But look at those attributes. This is the first time I've seen Joe Adell really pop off in a rebuild, and I'm happy it's with the Angels. So Matt Thaiss, again, a really good season, and I hate to see him walk. He's been really good throughout this entire rebuild. But we've got this guy now, Tony Mendel, who's going to be a very cheap contract, and he put up unbelievable numbers. So to have this guy on the team and then try to pay Matt Thaiss, it's just not going to work. And then Andres Rosas, give him the full season, proved his worth. Look at those numbers. I'm really happy that we gave him the shot. And then Tyler Soderstrom is starting to pop off at 26 years old. So we have a good team here. Offensively, I'm going to keep it the same. Really, the only change is probably going to be Mendel the first, and then either Marsh or somebody else that we have is going to move into the DH spot. And that's really about it. So let's hop into the postseason, see what we can do here as we face the Rays. And we advance. There we go. Asa Lacy versus Simeon Woods Richardson. Ooh, back-to-back losses. And we're still hanging on. We're still hanging on. We advance. We made the World Series. Okay, Lonnie Lozano is pitching this game. So I'm gonna go Ralph Kent. I'm gonna give it to Reed Detmers, and then Asa Lacy's really struggling. So I'm gonna let him be the 5 in this series. So against the Padres, we take the first win, the second one as well. We take that third game loss. We get the fourth, and boom. We won a World Series. There we go. We get that second World Series victory in this rebuild. Playoff MVP Luis Garcia. And the World Series MVP was Kyron Harris. Okay. Maybe he's just going to be our DH. Tommy Edman, poor postseason. But looking at the rest of the offensive lineup, really good. Really good. I'm really happy about that. Kyron Harris looks like to be the only bench bat we used, and he did outstanding. We'll take a look at our pitching staff, see if anybody kind of turned things around. Ralph Kent was really good. Corey Callaway, 20 innings. Ooh, he was good. Ray Ortiz struggled. Rivas struggled. Valencia struggled. But McCann, no earned runs. And Gary Perez was really good. So, oh, baby, I'm happy with this team. Okay, let's see what we can do. A couple players retired, but they didn't really ever play for us. Paul Goldschmidt retires with the San Francisco Giants. And it's sad to see all these guys like mainly Tommy Edman and I think I said Edmund and Matt Thaiss leave, but we do have players to replace them. And I'll take a look to see how much they want. 28 can't do that, and 11's not bad, but again, I want to make sure we have the money to afford players going forward and not get stuck in a budget crisis like we were with like Rendon, Trout, and all them. So I'm going to make sure I sign Castro, Carrera, Gonzalez, and all those guys to the 40-man. Everybody there is getting arbitration. Everybody's getting a contract. So I'm still in the offseason, and I realize I'm paying $3 million to a pitcher that I'm not going to use, William Holmes. So I'm going to trade for a backup like middle infielder, because we are a little low on like quality backup infielders, and then just a guy to kind of replace him in Edward Pollard. I'll go up here so you can kind of see his attributes. And then the other guy is Jeremy Ironman. He's actually been decent the last couple seasons, and he's not bad, but super friendly contract. That's the big thing. And that's why I'm making this trade. So boom, that's really the only trade or move I'm gonna make for now until I like see the rest of the squad and think about what we could do. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the team. See you guys next season. All right, so the penultimate season, we're actually in a really good spot budget wise. I did extend someone's contract. Who was it? I don't remember. It was, who did I extend? It was a closer. It was our closer. It was Gary Perez. Where is he? Gary Perez. You can see his contract was extended. Boom, there's that. I'm not too sure about Reed Detmers just yet, but he's really the only other player that we really have to worry about for free agency. Ironman, I think he's got 1 year of arbitration, so we should be okay. If not, he shouldn't cost too much and we should be fine. So we're sitting at 1.14 mil. We should be fine. And I brought back Matt Thaiss. He wanted like 11 million for a season. So I was like, you know what? If he does well, let's keep him around. I feel like he's been part of the Angels squad for quite some time. And oops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, didn't really go out and sign anybody. You saw the trade for Ironman. And Trout sadly is like, he's fallen off. And I'm only going to have him in the lineup versus righties. Brandon Marsh is going to be in the lineup versus lefties, which I guess is a little bit of an issue because he doesn't hit lefties as well. But this is going to be the team. If it doesn't go like fantastic, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to put Kyron up there. We have a lot of lefties. Holy cow. Let's go. Maybe Andres Rosas here. Luis Garcia here. And then, yeah, we have a lot of lefties. We're going to have to switch this up somehow. We'll figure it out. We might have to make a trade next year, depending on how certain players play. But, okay. Yeah, let's try out this squad. Maybe go like that. Break it up a little bit. Maybe let Joe Adele. We'll go like this. I like this. Boom. whatever. It'll work. But this is the team. It's all right. It's pretty good. Obviously, the offense has taken a little step back as Trout does get worse, but I don't want to go out and get rid of him. Like, this is the whole purpose of this rebuild. You guys can see the pitching staff is the exact same. Rafael Castro has come up. We'll see how he does. The hits per 9 and Ks per 9 being low worries me a little bit, but we'll see. If we need to make a trade, we definitely will. And then if we need to make a trade offensively, yeah, we definitely will. We have plenty of pieces to make the trade happen also. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year. So at the deadline, Matt Thaiss is actually falling off pretty quickly. Like, he's having a great year, but you can see everything is just down. Like, you can see his year is great. Fantastic year. And I want to keep him on the team, but like, he's going down so fast. It's like 5 or above in every single category, and that's worrisome. Like, and he's in every lineup. Like, it's not like he's not getting time. I'm also going to trade away Ray Ortiz, having a terrible year, and Joe Gatto is not a player I'm using. I'm going to trade for 2 first basemen. We don't necessarily need them, but this one I think is going to be a good like player to kind of replace Matson, switch hitter, or replace Thaiss. His name is Richard Matson. A couple other guys that I looked at. I was looking for someone that had just a little bit of pop. Dariel Gomez was another guy I looked at, but he's 32, so I'm afraid he's going to start to fall off. And then another one I looked at, I was kind of looking at players that had, who's this? How's that actually? 26. Okay, what was the other guy? Now I'm 28, 74, 77, 74, 66, 54. And this guy, they're almost identical. I'm going to go with this guy instead. He's a little bit younger. Hopefully he develops, and boom, there we go. There's our new like righty that we needed in the lineup. Everybody else has actually been doing really well. I'm going to call up that first baseman. I'm just going to be perfectly fine with that trade. I know I could have gotten somebody else in the trade as well, but I'm happy with what it is. I need to call up another reliever as well. We have one. Where is he? He is right here. This guy. Ooh, actually, no, he's a starter. Actually, it is Jeff Franklin. I'm actually gonna make him a reliever. I think he'd be really good in that spot. So what I'm gonna do is, Corey Callaway is still really good in this long relief spot. Who's got less stamina? Corey Callaway. So I'm gonna move him there. Rivas there. Jeff Franklin's gonna take over there. And then obviously with the lineup now, we have that righty that we needed, just not playing a lot, so he's angry. Whatever. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. That's the team. I like it. That was a good move for us. Trout's down to a 77, but you can see we're doing really well. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. Another division win. Pretty self-explanatory. 106 and 56. Let's take a look. 12 games above our opponent. And I didn't look last year at our fielding ratings, but I'm definitely gonna take a look at them this year, because I don't think we're that bad of a fielding team. I really don't. But let's take a look at award winners, or league leaders, I should say. Mendel and Luis Garcia, and then Gary Perez with saves once again. Okay. And some new like prospects are starting to appear in the league leading stats, which is always cool to see, as well as some of like the young guys in baseball now. They're starting to kind of hit those like 30s, 31, 32 age range, where like they're really kind of in their prime and really popping off. So it's good to see that, you know, it's like a really exciting time for baseball at this point, because it's like the players that some you will know, some of them that like are usually a little bit too young to develop in rebuilds, they finally start to develop and they're really showing their worth. So, okay, Shohei was third in the Cy Young race. Shohei was third in MVP. Ralph Kent somehow won Cy Young. Don't know how he did that with those numbers, but okay. This Lindsey Carrillo guy has won reliever of the year in the NL like every year besides this year. It was ridiculous. That's unreal. We didn't have any rookies, I don't think, but let's take a look at our pitching first like we normally do. Jeff Franklin, really good in the 50 innings he pitched. I think this is his spot. And then looking at the rest, Valencia, I don't think you're going to make it with the squad, my guy. That's tough. Corey Callaway still doing well. Rivas is good. McCann. And why did Gary Perez? Just because he blew a couple saves? Come on, he's fine. We've got Lonnie Lozano. Okay. Ralph Kent's doing well. Morales, okay. Detmers and Castro. So I kind of want to give one of these guys a shot, but I don't know who, because like we've got really good stats down here. So we're going to have to figure out what to do with those guys. But looking at the lineups really quick, we got 60 fielding, 92, 65, 65, 82, 68, 61, 72. Like, it's not terrible fielding wise. I don't see why we're so poorly ranked fielding wise. Brandon Marsh is still doing really well as like our main bench bat. And okay. All right. I like the bench's numbers. Tony Mendel is like a leadoff hitter who's a first baseman, which is weird to think about, is still doing really good. Love to see it. Luis Garcia, outstanding numbers. Trout's still putting up decent numbers. His numbers or his attributes are terrible, but he's still putting up decent stats. Shohei, love seeing that. We got Joe Adell putting up still really good numbers. Kyron Paris is putting up good numbers. Raul Santiago, who we just traded for, threw him in the lineup. Great season. Andres Rosas took a step back, but I still have faith. And then Soderstrom, again, took a step back, still have faith. I might throw this guy in over Soderstrom just for the hitting stats. We'll have to wait and see. Soderstrom might get the bench. He might get the bench. So let's see if we can win back-to-back World Series with this squad. And boom, we sweep them. Let's get... Nope, that's not what I want. No, again, not what I want. There we go, finally. Let's get Lozano, Kent, Morales, and we'll go like that. All right, here we are. Game 1 we lose. Game 2 we lose. Oh man. Okay, give me Lonnie Lozano. Give me that dub. Bah, there we are. We're back in the World Series taking on the Nationals, which they're the second ranked team in baseball, so I definitely know they're going to be good. So Rafael Castro has been really good in the postseason, so I'm going to go Lozano, Morales, Castro, and then Detmers. That's how it's going to be for this. All right, here we are. Game 1 versus Kyle Wright and the Nationals. We take a 1-0 victory, take a 7-6 victory. We take a loss there, a win there. Oh, give me this win. Come on, Lonnie. Dude, Morales. We take a... Oh, no. A 3-1 series, and we lose it. Man, that's tough. That hurts. That hurts a lot. So, all right, let's keep moving forward. Freddie Freeman hits Hall of Fame, 3 home runs short of 500. I'm gonna pick up Andres Rosas option. Reed Detmers. Nah, let's keep moving forward. Sorry, Reed, but Mike Trout exercised his option and he's staying with the team, which is good. I was gonna keep him on the team anyways. And the 40-man, I'll make sure I add everybody. There are a couple players that I think are gonna make the squad. Arbitration. Probably not Ironman. I feel like we can get another backup, and then contracts everybody. Alrighty, last year, this one, we actually made some pretty good signings that I didn't expect. So let me show you what we were able to do. Here we are. So Rule 5, Gavin Lazinski, 26 years old, really good contact, beat potential, backup middle infielder. That's really all I'm seeing with this guy, and with those contact numbers, I'm pretty happy with it. Who else? Jim Griffith, Rule 5 draft? No, just a free agent. He was sitting there. I was like, 8 potential at 25 years old. Power. Yes, please. There we go. That was it. There we are. That was literally it. So 2 kind of like prospect signings that paid out. We're going to rock with this for our starting rotation. Robert Callaway. I'm going to call him Corey Callaway's brother. He is now our 5th starter. Man, what's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me. But no, Callaway is going, they're not even spelled the same. What's wrong with me? So Robert Callaway is going to be our 5th starter. Oh man, that's bad. But Callaway, we got Castro, Morales, Kent, and Lozano. Jeff Franklin's going to be that long reliever. You guys can see the bullpen is basically the same. I let go of Valencia and no team wanted him, which I thought was kind of wild. So there's that. Offensive lineup looks like this. Trout is still hanging on there. I'm gonna try to let him stay in the lineup as much as possible. I want him to hit 700 home runs. I really do. And then we've got, Rosas, Paris, Marsh, Soderstrom, all these guys. Ozzy Beltran's been called up. Lazinski, we got V.S. Mill. We're playing a lot of matchups. You guys can kind of see You know, it just depends on the matchup, who plays, who doesn't. But yeah, this is the squad. I'm really, really liking it. And I'll see you guys at the end of the final year for this 10-year rebuild. So I accidentally just hit OK on the final announcement for like what we finished on the season. We were 94-68. We won the division. And you can see first ranked once again. The pitching, though, was... yikes. I kept trying to allow those prospects to develop and turn into the top pitchers that I would like them to be. I guess it just didn't really pan out. So normally I show the lineups. I guess we could do that really quickly and just kind of show you what we were working with. That first baseman that I had my eye on for quite some time, I guess he kind of cooled off after a couple of seasons, but you guys can see the lineups here. And of course, guys, get in the comment section. Let me know what teams you want to see for the future. And yeah, I mean, you guys can see the teams here. I mean, there's some pretty good teams. A lot of new names, a lot of different names. Most of them are prospects that have finally developed. And most of them are probably going to be like in their early 30s at this point. But yeah, there's some good teams for sure. The Rockies look pretty good. The Dodgers look pretty solid. And even, I mean, the Giants got a pretty good heart of the lineup at the 3, 4, 5, 6 spot. I mean, even their number 8 is a 91 overall. But all right, I saw the Blue Jays were the best team in terms of a record. I mean, they got Robert Pawson, Jesus Sanchez, Waters, Hyura, Octavio, Gillis. And I actually looked at this guy, and I didn't think he was going to develop quick enough. And he actually is really good. Wow. Okay. They've got Yoan Moncada on that squad as well. So, all right, some pretty interesting teams for sure. And let's go take a look. See, oh, we've already looked at that, but let's go take a look at league leaders real fast. Tony Mendel, man, talk about a good trade for a first baseman. This guy just knows how to get on base. Kind of reminds me of like a Rizzo. He's not going to crank out a crazy amount of home runs, but he just gets on base. So I mean, I know it's not the most exciting, but he gets the job done. So Dave Shantz leading the league for home runs. Luis Garcia's up there. I like seeing that. Brett Beatty, a couple other guys here as well. Okay. All right. I like seeing that. And then when we take a look at the awards, we've got a Silver Slugger. That was it. That was it. Second place for Luis Garcia. Jordan still cranking it with the Mets. Rodrigo Camacho was actually a pitcher that I was slightly interested in trading for at one point, and at the age of 27 shows that he's kind of nasty. Who else? Who else do we have here? Mendel won the batting title. Ooh. The Pirates, I guess, are just cranking out really good relievers. Who else do we got here? Looks like Domingo Manuel is the new closer to look out for. And then a couple other guys there. Okay. All right. So pretty interesting. And now let's take a look at our pitching. See how everything went. Jeff Franklin. Boom. Love seeing that. Mathis is still putting up really good numbers. Geronimo Carrera. First full season. Not terrible. I mean, that whip's good. The ERA is a little high. But you know what? Not terrible. Not terrible. Rivas is still doing really well. McCann struggled a little bit. Callaway, ooh, yikes. Who was really good? Let's, you know what? Let's go McCann. He's usually pretty good there. Corey Callaway looks not to be the right setup guy. Just not the guy you want at the setup spot. And then Gary Perez at 30 years old is really falling off, and I don't know why. I really don't. Like, why? He's been so good prior to that. Same thing with Lonnie Lozano. He's doing really well. Why would he fall off in rating? You know, Ralph Kent. Yeah, like everybody on the pitching staff just kind of struggled this year. You guys can see their attributes. I mean, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I really don't, man. MLB The Show needs to figure out this development system with pitchers and everything like that. This guy's definitely getting called up next year if we were to continue this. But the development system's so wonky in MLB The Show. It's just like, it just doesn't make sense. A guy pops off for a career year and then he falls off in rating. It's so weird. Raul Santiago had a really good year. Looks like the main bench bat that we had. Jim Griffith was really good as well. Villasmil kind of split time in the outfield, did well. And then Gavin Lazinski too. I mean, everybody on the bench did pretty decent. Ozzy Beltran, okay. And then Tony Mendel, like I said, he's actually hitting 33 home runs. That's pretty nice. That's actually pretty good. I like seeing that. Luis Garcia had a good year. The average did dip, but still putting up 40 home runs. Joe Adell still putting up really good numbers. Shohei still putting up good numbers. You can see he's starting to fall off. He's got one more year, but I'd let him, I'd let him go through it and rock with the squad, you know, still put up pretty good numbers. Almost 30 home runs. That's good. Mike Trout, he hit it 705 home runs. I'm actually interested to see how many home runs, like what that puts him at. That's got to be way up there. Because, like, who else? Like Barry Bonds, obviously. But where does that put him all time? Let's take a look. That would put him 4th all time behind Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth. Ooh, and he's not done. I mean, we could always sign him back, bring him back for another year. Andres Rosas, it looks like this is kind of what he's going to be capping out at. Like, is it a bad year? Definitely not, but I feel like we've got like this Jim Griffith and Lazinski guy that we could just let them take over. Kyron Paris, looks like he kind of capped out in this area as well. Brandon Marsh cooled off a little bit too. So it's looking like some of these guys are starting to cool off, which is worrisome. And luckily we have like these backups that could definitely come in and do a job for us. So actually what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to make the moves to get those like hot bats in. So there we go. Here we go. Final year. Can we win it all? Okay, we advance. That's a good thing. I'm going to let Callaway go against Gaylord Johnson. Take a loss. Probably not the best move, but I have faith in the squad. I'm going to take out Callaway because he got absolutely rocked. Holy cow. Yeah, we're going to hopefully get the win here. Please do not blow it. Boom. We advance. We're in the World Series once again against the Nationals, dude. The Nationals are nasty. Here we go. Kent, who pitched this last game? So if Kent's up, it was Lozano. So I'm going to put Lozano here. And then I'm going to take Callaway out. I'm going to... Oh, Jeff Franklin's been getting rocked too. Oh, boy. What do we do? I think we're just going to have to go 3-man rotation or something. So Kent takes a loss. Castro gets the win. Lozano, we get the win. And then we're just going to go back to Kent. I mean, we can't really afford to let a bad pitcher go on the mound. Here we go. We take a win. We take a loss. Lonnie, I need you here. Please don't do this to me, man. Again? Another 3-1 series and we lose. The Nationals are the kryptonite, man. The Nationals are the kryptonite. And that is unfortunately how we're going to end it. Dude, the offense. Okay, Mike Trout fell off a little bit. The offense was there. The offense was definitely there. But it looks like, yeah, just the pitching really let us down, man. That sucks, man. We had such a good pitching, like infinite whip. What do you mean infinite whip? Yeah, we just didn't have a guy that we could rely on to close it out. Maybe we should have went back to Gary Perez. I don't know, dude. That's tough. That sucks. Oh, dude. But at least we did win, Mike Trout. I think 2 World Series through this. And I hope you did enjoy it. Again, guys, let me know in the comment section what team to do next. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Of course, follow all my social medias. Those are in the description below. Twitter is the best way to stay in contact with me. Go and tweet me, see what's going on when I'm uploading, if I'm streaming, all that stuff. Go follow my Twitter. And that's really about it, guys. I'm leaving you with 2 videos on screen now. Go and give them a watch if you haven't yet. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.